Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. This is episode 78, where I had the immense pleasure of having Arn Terry on. He is a blogger, a social media professional. He also basically he's helping to demystify social media to unlock wealth and having fun along the way. Got to say, we talked about social media strategy as well as the power of social media as well. I had a very interesting conversation, and yes, I look forward to having him again on the podcast sometime in the future. So please sit back, enjoy the podcast, and if you have a little bit of time, please subscribe as well. Have a great day. Peace. Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. This is episode, oh my Lord, 78. Ah, it is a hot one in the UK. By the time this comes out, it might be a little bit cooler. But anyway, today on the podcast, I am very happy to have Arn Terry. How can I put it? He is an international headhunter, social media consultant, you could say, blogger. What he's basically doing is decoding and demystifying social media to create wealth. How are you today, sir? How are you?
Thank you for having me on. I am great. I am fantastic. It's all about gratitude and appreciation. So thank you for having me on. I am doing very well. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got to say, you, sir, have a sort of very interesting backstory. Like, when I say that, like back in 2008, you were a bit being, how can I put it? You were a bit on a mad one, as they would say. Long hours, long days. What was that all about?
Right, yeah. So I could speak about this for a week, but let's just keep it condensed and let's keep it flowing as you say. So anyone that doesn't know anything about me and my backstory, I'm an international headhunter, but I'm talking about back in 2008 when I was a recruiter working for a business at the time. So back then it was great. To be honest with you, 2006. Purchased, I think it was 2000, 2006 or 2005, purchased a house. 2006 got married. 2007 had our first daughter, and then 2008 happened, and then it was very interesting because it was the financial crash where every business started to topple, and pretty much like we are in today in terms of COVID, but without the social distancing. So obviously, with me being a recruiter and my salary being more focused on your commission rather than a basic salary, putting, as I just said, just got married, just bought a house, firstborn within 3 years, and then gets 2008. We literally didn't have the money to pay for the bills because, you get married, unfortunately, it goes onto a loan. You buy a house, that's another big loan. You've got your first child. Again, there's more financial dependencies there. So what I did in 2008, I was running around like a headless chicken, feeling sorry for myself a bit. Then I decided to get a second job. So I was working as a recruiter. Bear in mind, I was like in the office from like 8:45, and then not finishing till like 7 o'clock, sometimes 8 o'clock in the evening. So I got a second job as well. So that meant me looking for a role, looking for a job. I ended up working in Tesco supermarket as a warehouse guy, let's just call it. I was working in the clothing department, F&F fashion. So I was literally in the back room sorting out the clothing, doing that as part-time. So I was working full-time as recruitment, and then I was doing, Thursday after work, Friday after work, Saturday and Sunday. So I was literally working 7 days a week. I know I'm not the only person that's been in this situation when your back's against the wall and you don't know what to do. So it was, do what everyone else did and was doing, which was get a second job. So I did that for a good, felt like forever amount of time. And then there was other hurdles in that journey as well. At that time, I believed I deserved a nice car, so I had an Audi A4 Sport, 2.4 V6, blah blah blah, and I sold that. Which was a bit crushing for me, but family comes first. And then I made an interesting decision by buying the complete kind of opposite car, which was a very, very old Vectra, Vauxhall Vectra. It was so bad, the electrics failed. The indicators didn't work, the speedometer stopped working. So literally I was driving down the road and had to judge how fast I was going by just using the revs rather than using the speedometer.
Okay.
So literally what was going through my head at the time was, embarrassment, guilt, failure. I'm smiling talking through it now, but it wasn't a good time. It wasn't a good point in my life then. So, if anyone can relate, anyone can get through this. You just obviously need to have the passion, desire, and concentration. So what happened from there was I started to kind of build. Me and my wife started kind of build the finances back up. We was working very hard, working long hours, but obviously I wasn't seeing my family because I was working constantly. My wife was working full time as well. The situation, nursery fees, etc. But we got to a better place, and then I think got to about 2009. I was like, right, I've got it figured. I'm never going to be in this situation again. By 2010, I'm going to be a millionaire. That didn't happen.
Okay.
That didn't happen. So it was a lot to do with failure. And what I always say is if you're not making mistakes in your life, it just means, this is my belief system, it means that you're not trying anything new. Because you're not making any mistakes, it just means that you're continuously doing the same thing over and over. So I made a whole load of mistakes, in my journey to become financially free, financially independent, whatever you want to call it. So I was doing other things like multi-level marketing, and I was looking into stocks and trades, and I was looking into different kinds of selling, and I just kind of bided my time. Up until recently, to be fair, I decided that I was going to get into either real estate or property, social media, but at that time, it was kind of difficult to do that while I was working for a business. So 2 years ago, I took it upon myself to quit my job and start my own company. As mentioned, I'm a recruiter, so I've had a lot of contacts, connections. So I set my own international recruitment firm. So that obviously kept the money coming in. And also it gave me time in the background to start building up my social media business presence. So it wasn't just a case of me just thinking, yeah, I'm going to learn about social media or I'm going to learn about property. It was investing time and a lot of money because I wanted to do it the right way. So bringing the basic up to date was, I wasn't actually meant to launch my social media business up until back end of this year, if not 2021. But COVID-19 hit. A few typical examples. Again, most people in a situation where you've got a job and you get furloughed. But for my sake is I work for myself as my company, and I had responsibility putting people into jobs. So I had 5-6 different people who were waiting to get their contracts through the post or through email, and then all of a sudden it just gets stopped. So I don't get paid if they don't start, and obviously that person doesn't get the job. So it literally had a massive knock-on effect. But the difference between 2019 to 2008, when we had the global financial crash, was I had a plan B, or I had another business or source of income. Because at that time I was doing, back end of 2019, I was literally just speaking to my friends, my aunts, my uncles, giving them social media. As anyone starts off, you do things for free, you start giving advice, and then it was like, okay, then more people start asking me for advice, and I thought, okay, well, now I need to start charging. So the great thing about it was, because I'm an international headhunter and I deal with talent attraction, and talent attraction, talent retention, I could speak to my recruitment clients and talk to them about marketing, talk to them about social media, and talk to them about their online presence, digital presence, and basically how to get their footprint that step ahead of their competition. So I started doing some consulting for them, rather than the recruitment consulting, if this is making sense. I started talking more about marketing, consulting, and social media. So if you can imagine, at the time, most of my revenue was coming from my recruitment business. That all stopped due to COVID. But what it would allow me to do was pivot very quickly and use my company, social media company, Freetown Mindset, to start consulting and helping people use social media to start making money, etc., etc. So yeah, my recruitment business completely stopped, came to a hard stop, but then I used my social media knowledge to start making money. So that was like, if anyone knows what it is, affiliate marketing, just basically means selling other people's products. So I basically got really excited about that when I first learned about it, and I was making 300, and the first time I just tried that, I made was it £363 in one day, and it only took me like an hour or so. I was like, oh wow, okay, this is interesting. So I did it again, and did it again, and did it again. And it's, it's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know. And then I started to realize there's big money in social media and selling products online and selling other people's products. And then that's how it kind of unfolded. And that's why I'm here now talking to you and, to your listeners out there, that you can come from nothing and then get into something, but you need to work damn hard at it. Don't take as long as me though. But everything happens for a reason. The time happens for a reason. But it's just to show, if you've been going on your journey for a year or 6 months and stuff like that, I'm now providing shortcuts to people, offering them the shortcut on how you can, rather take so long to get there. These are directions that you can go from, and don't make these mistakes. If you make these mistakes, this is what the path that you can go down.
Yeah, because this is the thing with regards to social media. You mentioned you looked at sort of starting basically real estate and stuff like this. Some people argue that it would be, apart from the sort of initial capital investment, it might be easier to get into real estate than social media, because look, there is a number of different things. Because one, there's no sort of barrier to entry. Everyone can enter. The competition is absolutely mental. Plus trying to work out that sort of tricky algorithm as well. What would you say to them with regards to that? As someone who's made £350 in one day?
Yeah, it's pretty well. Started making 360 quid a day, and then obviously it's gone up since then. But the thing is, the only reason why I knew how to do that wasn't by mistake. There was no mistake about it. I invested my time and money into different coaches, courses, mentors, the boring stuff that most people don't want to do. Most people just want the glitz and glamour without putting in the hard work. So going back to your question about the algorithm and stuff like that, I would just literally say my first point about it is, don't do it to earn big money. Do it first of all is, okay, what do you want to pay for? Is it your shopping of £70 in that week? Is that what you want to cover? So just focus on the little things first. That it could be your shopping, then it could be your tax, your council tax, then it could be that your car payment, then your mortgage payment, and then it goes up and up and up from there. So start small. But going back to your algorithm thing, point of view, it's the thing behind that is you literally pay for ads that won't take up too much time, but you basically would go into, let's say for example, you go into Facebook, and you've got a product on there. There's different ways that you pay for those ads, and Facebook pushes your ad to millions of people out there around the world, or you can just choose to be in a local area. I'm obviously in Manchester, so you could just push it to Manchester. But I would advise against that. But it just shows you can niche down as much as you want, or keep it, to the whole world. And if you're doing it right, then it works in your favour, because the thing is, you are right. is rigged, but once you understand how it works, then you do it to your favor in terms of making sure it goes out to the right people, making sure you put the right message out there as well. But that is if you pay for ads as well. If you don't want to pay for ads, you can just do it organically. And that's what I talk about. I talk about, how you create a blog, how you can monetize your blog. So I mean by monetize your blog is basically just get paid by holding a blog on there. So one thing I teach is how you become an Amazon affiliate. Takes you, I've got a course on that. It takes you no time to do that. So when you go into your blog, mine's about social media. It's about learning and education. So I've got big books on there like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Grant Cardone 10X, The Secret, etc. So once you click on any of those links, you'll see that it looks, and it's an Amazon banner basically with the books on there. When you click on that link, it takes straight to Amazon, and then you purchase that book or you purchase whatever. It doesn't have to be that product that you've gone through on that link. Then you get paid for that purchase. Amazon actually pays you straight away. And then you run ads onto your blog as well. Again, you get paid in that way as well. So these are just different sources and streams of income that I teach people that they can do. It starts at very, very small. It could be £20, £30 a week, and it goes up and up and up from there. From there, it just extrapolates. The more content you put out there, the more people that view your blog post. So it's just teaching people how to do that and how to start up your YouTube channel. So you could be you could be like, for example, you could be a dog walker. Or you could just have a love for pugs, and your blog could just be about pugs. Okay, and then say for example you've got pugs on there, then what do they need? They need care, and they need care for. They need to be bathed. So what you put onto your blog, down like the side column, you put an affiliate link to Amazon. It could be dog chains, dog leads. It could be doggy clothes. And then obviously the biggest thing that you pay for, I'm just thinking on the top of my head here actually, the biggest thing, the cost to you as a animal owner and animal lover is probably pet insurance. So then all you would do is get in contact with a pet insurance company and you say, do you have do you have an affiliate program, where basically means, like as I said, selling other people's products. So you would get their code. It's not technical at all. It's very easy. You would just get their link and they'll send it over to you. And they'll say, yeah, paste that into your blog. And then when anyone purchases the animal pet insurance, you get paid a portion of that sign up. And this is what people, aren't doing out there, and they think it's costly, expensive. It's not. It costs you nothing to set up a blog. It costs you nothing to set up a YouTube channel. It costs you nothing to be an Amazon affiliate. It costs you nothing. This is all for free. This is all for free. So I'm just talking to people out there as well on this works for me, for my social media journey, on how you can dominate social media. And that's what my course is called, Dominate Social Media. And it's basically about repetition. I've seen you with your push-up challenge as well, which is fantastic, and that's what it's about. It's about doing as many repetitions as possible, be having that laser focus to do what you need to do. So some people may agree, some people may disagree and say, social media, it's a waste of time. All you do is see people on there, taking pictures of themselves on the beach, but that's you taking it as a consumer. There's two different people on social media. There's a consumer and there's business-minded people. In fact, no, there's three, because it sounds quite strange me saying this. I never used to be on social media. I was never on Facebook or Instagram. The only thing I was on was LinkedIn, because I believe that LinkedIn was the professional social media.
It was, but LinkedIn has changed over the last 3 years.
Yes.
Been more sort of kind of Facebook light, but more sort of professional.
Yes, 100%. And the reason why, the reason why I see them doing that is, and I've just literally yesterday posted on my blog, and I'm calling it the data war. So I don't know if anyone's seen the film The Current War. It was to do with electrification. So it was Nikola Tesla. Obviously not. It was actors playing Nikola Tesla, Western Gate, is it, and JP Morgan and Edison. So great film. So it's obviously about when we was trying to, not we, but the Americans, in America, sorry, they was trying to illuminate America because there was just all fire back then. And gaslights. So I believe that's what's going on at the moment. I believe there's a massive data war. So my belief is LinkedIn is trying to get as much data as possible, and I feel that they were losing out on a lot of customers, a lot of people. So they're kind of making it kind of more of a user experience. And let's be honest, they're not fussed about us. All they want mainly is the data. Microsoft own LinkedIn, so there's obviously another big backstory behind that as well. And they want data, just like when Facebook bought Instagram for billions of dollars. People are like, that's crazy. Why would you buy this small little company where people just take pictures of themselves on the beach or holding something or doing something stupid for billions of dollars? It wasn't for the technology, it was for the data. Just think about the hundreds of millions or millions of people on the time. You put all your deepest, darkest secrets on there. You put what you like, you put what you don't like, you put in what you eat, you put in who you know, who you don't know, and then as soon as you sign up to Instagram, it basically, it's like a spider web effect. That's what I obviously call it, the internet and the net. And it links up to all your other friends, to your phone, and it gets all the information. It's data. So, I've got thousands of connections in my phone. So as soon as I've linked into, gone into, say, a Facebook, it'll basically say, do you want to add your phone book connections on there? And if you click yes, you've agreed to their terms and businesses, so they can then search for everyone else who is on your phone, and then it just spirals from there and there. So basically, what all these social media companies want is your data. So try not to scare people out there, but that's what I just did a blog about, but they make it fun, which is great. TikTok, for example, people putting all the information there, doing all the great dances and all. There's some very talented people on there. It's not just about dancing, but you're putting all your information on there, but having fun along the way. So it's a really, really great secret marketing tip to get more customers by making people have fun.
Yeah, with regards to, like you mentioned, the data wars, and like especially when you mentioned TikTok, with what's going on with like that company at this present time, whether it will be purchased by Microsoft or whether it be like, well, how much will be purchased by Microsoft, what's going to happen with the sort of future with that. And with a number of the big tech companies which are being brought into Congress over the last few weeks, like how stable would you say sort of getting into sort of like using social media as a sort of building block for your business? How stable is that right now? What's the future looking like? How do you see it going?
From my point of view, from my perspective, it's getting better and better. If you use it as a business, not a consumer, as a business.
How so?
Because it's artificial learning and algorithms. Companies are spending like eye-watering amounts of money to learn about us even more, and they're not slowing down. Everyone, and you mentioned it as well, algorithm. So an algorithm is just AI, artificial learning, or machine learning, however you want to pitch. A new kind of buzzword comes out every so often. So the reason why it's not going to slow down is because it can't slow down. It's been let out of the box. There's so many more companies out there now that's wanting our information. You just need to think about all the manufacturers of the mobile phones. As soon as you get a new phone, it says, download this app, download that app. What about this running app? What about that? It's all ways to collect our data, because people think, oh great, I've got this new running app, but it's probably information that that's been, most of the information has been obviously done by the government, but it's tracking and tracing intelligence information, which is made to look cool and put into a running app. So the great thing is, if you go into social media, people are giving so much of their data for free you can basically utilize that to your advantage. And the way you utilize that to your advantage is, again, we'll go on to something else. We can speak about YouTube. Google own YouTube. So Google are allegedly the largest search engine in the world. And the second largest search engine in the world is YouTube, and Google own YouTube. So this is why people in social media, I'm literally small potatoes to some people. I've been being mentored by people who are making like £100,000 in a weekend. Just by using social media and selling their digital courses. So these people who are utilizing social media to make money, there's more information out there. So if you go into Google and you run an ad, so you go into YouTube, you can just run an ad on YouTube and it goes out to so many people out there. YouTube will do the heavy lifting for you. So I'll give you a live example for myself. I've got my online products out there, digital products, how to dominate social media. So all I would do is do a video. Hi, it's Arn Terry, Freestyle Mindset. And do you want to learn how to do X? Would you like to do Y? Would you like to do this? And if you're interested, please click the link below. I do the back end stuff, which like the tags and the bits and stuff like that. Send it out to YouTube. I'll boost that post, Facebook speak, but I'll just basically pay for that video, and then send it out there, and then YouTube will do all the heavy lifting. They will go and find who I've selected to find. So if I want that to be a man of 39 years of age who lives in Manchester, who drives a BMW, I can niche down that much. And this is why it's not going to stop, because we freely keep giving more and more information out there. And this is why companies out there are billion-dollar organizations. It's about not owning anything. Again, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna, you mentioned you pay, you do like one of the 30-second ads, then you put money behind it to target certain people. I imagine when you're targeting these people, how much is that going to cost? Is it going to be a significant amount, or is it a case of anyone? When I mean a significant amount, is it like hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds? How does that kind of work out?
It depends how much you want to scale your business. For me, I'm just keeping it small, because I'm just taking my time. So for me, £100, but you don't even need to do that. You can just do it the organic way. But I'm talking about if you want to scale quickly and basically, you pay to get results quicker. So say, for example, a lot of people can find to do stuff out themselves, but it could take them 2-3 years. But if you pay for a coach or a mentor, it could take you 2-3 months. That makes sense? So it's the same way when you're doing these ads as well. You pay and you boost it. Again, people that I know about that I'm in mastermind groups of, they're spending £100,000 a month. Some are £1 million a month, as you probably well know, £1 million a month on just ads. But the return that they're getting back is tremendous. If someone's spending like £100,000 on ads in a month, and their return in sales is something like £350,000 back to them. So it just depends. But I'm talking about keeping it, starting from the beginning, keeping it small, and just taking your time and making sure you have fun along the way. I'm not talking to people that this is going to be get rich. You're going to get rich quick. And people have done that, but that's not what I'm about. I'm talking about creating the wealth, not the rich, if that makes sense, and just scaling at a time when you're ready. But first, it's to have fun. It's to learn, about social media. It's to learn that it can be used in a good way. Because I've got kids, my daughter is 12, she's on TikTok, so I'm teaching my children that that you can use social media the right way as well. My son, I've got him, in fact, on one of my courses as well, my son and my daughter, they've got their own blog, and they've monetized their blog. which basically means that they've got certain links on there. My daughter's got a blog on TikTok, and she's got TikTok jumpers on there, which directs you straight to Amazon and like different licensed stuff. My son's into gaming, so he's on Fortnite. So he's got like gaming PCs or gaming laptops, gaming chairs at the side of his blog. So if anyone clicks on that link, which they do, and they purchase anything, doesn't have to be that particular product, could be anything, could be a washing machine, they get paid. So I'm teaching my children that you can do simple things like this to create your own pocket money. Because I've said to my children, it's going to come to a point where hopefully you'll be like, Mum, Dad, I don't need pocket money. I'm making enough money myself. So yeah, so this is the thing that I'm teaching my kids to do. So it's not just about being an adult and doing it. It's kid friendly as well. Just helping them to build a blog, make a blog, going on and being creative as well. Something called Canva when you're doing like different kind of ebook covers and stuff. So I'm teaching my daughter how to do that as well, and how she can create a business just from her bedroom and earn a couple £100 a month.
This is like the way I see it. Like you're doing you're teaching people how to get those stepping stones. Like, yeah, as you mentioned earlier, like, you know what I mean? Like getting them to earn £70, like that might be 1 month. Then maybe 3 months down the line, it might be 150, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's the stepping stones to sort of like, okay, right, this is where you're starting. And now we're like basically trying to help you work your way up to maybe possibly it might turn into a full-time income. It might just be something you do on the side, which can help on the sort of monthly bills here and the monthly bills there, or just help get a treat down the line. Which is like highly commendable on that side of things. And like with regards to the way the world might be in a few months' time, it might be something which might be very good to help keep that wolf away from the door. With that, like, wouldn't you say there are a number of people out there who are just giving away this information for free? And when I say this, like, one man comes to mind that you might know him as a gruff New Yorker. Well, he is a New Yorker, but a Jersey boy who supports. Yeah. Do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. So yeah. Wouldn't you, like, you know what I mean? Wouldn't like a number of people go, yeah, but there's Gary Vee out there. Was like, what you got to offer that is different. I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm just.
No, that's fine. Yeah, Gary Vee is a great guy. I actually met Gary Vee and shook his hand. This is just before COVID, actually, in Birmingham. It was at the Success Resources seminars. So yeah, I'm not just playing at this. I've gone and met with these people. I've spent time with these people, shook their hands and asked questions and stuff like that. And I follow people like Gary Vee, but Gary Vee is just one person, and his content is not for everyone.
Yeah.
And when I say it's not for everyone, it's kind of like, you should be posting 60 pieces of content a day constantly. You've got to be a lunatic. And you've got to be, I'm not saying you don't have to be driven, because, what I'm teaching needs to be driven for, but the way he teaches it isn't for everyone. That's why there's, thousands of other people, more than thousands of other people who are basically doing courses like the course I would do, and they're getting people on. For example, when I was at that same course when Gary Vee was there, he was talking about, and I'll tell you, his pitch was, had different people on there, big, large, Ty Lopez was there as well. Ty Lopez, he was there.
Yeah.
So big names were there. Grant Cardone was there. So his Gary Vee's pitch was like, this is what I'm teaching. Go back and look at my content. And do you know what I charge? Do you know what I charge? And I don't know if you was there or if you know anyone there. He literally got the flip chart out and he put a $ there and he put a 0 and he said, absolutely effing nothing. This is what I charge. I don't charge anything. So it was a kind of what you were saying. It was a kind of comment to the other people that were there saying, I don't charge anything. But at the same hand, we had Ty Lopez and we had other people on stage as well, where they was talking about their online courses. And
Yeah.
you know what? There were probably 1,000 people, if not more, that signed up to his course, which is an online training course. There's another chap on there who's done some of my coaching with me, who I signed up to his course as well. So it just shows he's not for everyone. He's got a certain following, certain people go for him, but it's the kind of thing like saying, well, why did other people sign up for X social media professional, Y social media professional? It's because it tailors for everything, you know. And I'm sure I can speak on behalf of Gary Vee, and he will openly say his content isn't for everyone. The way he teaches, the way that, you know, you have to go and search for his stuff. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I understand that, and yeah, you're right. You got to do a little bit of research to get his stuff, but you can also just simply go to his YouTube channel where there's tons of content where he's either talking on stage, like the event you were at, or he's doing his sort of deep dive events where he's got that. And look, when it's like 60 pieces of content a day, look, that there is no illusion there, but there is a team Gary Vee, which
absolutely,
look, so I'm not going to. I've seen his content, I understand his content, I understand where he's coming from, but like it's a case of he's got a team which produces this, produces that, but I would still simply go, you still can get free information here, there, and everywhere, and like paying for a course, people. Sometimes I find it hard when someone goes, yes, just pay for my course. Like, I'll be like going, okay, where's the proof in the pudding? Like, if you've got this, like, if you got, say, blog posts, YouTube videos, like showing X, Y, and Z, and like where you can like practice this, practice that. And if there's more advanced stuff, you can go, okay, if you want to learn the next level, maybe you might want to pay for it. You might, but where the extra juices that help that acceleration, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm so glad that you mentioned Gary Vee as well, because the reason why he gets paid, okay, and the reason why he does it all for free like that is because his model's completely different. And this is what people, the uninitiated, don't understand. So his payment model is completely different. He will get YouTube, he'll get LinkedIn, he'll get Instagram to pay for him. It's called monetization. So say, for example, I've got over 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I've hit my watch time, so I'm monetized. My blog, I'm monetized, I get paid for that. So, but he's got millions and millions of followers. So all he will do is watch this for free, and you've just basically exposed, which everyone knows what he's doing anyway, because he's open his model. He'll get people to watch him on YouTube, so he'll get his YouTube watch rate so high, he'll be getting paid. I can't say the amount because I don't know, but it'll be, you know, could be 50, 60, 100,000 pounds a month just off YouTube, because he's monetized, because he's got so much following, because YouTube will pay you for your watch time in hours, okay? And then, for example, he's got an ad between his YouTube videos. He's getting paid again for his ads. So he's really good. You know, I've got so much respect for him. But it's kind of that thing is, no, he is charging you, but he isn't charging you at the same time. He's doing this great piece of the content, which I love his content. I don't like his cursing though, but he's doing all this great pieces of content. He's saying it's free, it's effing free. Why would they charge? Of course he's not going to charge, because he's got a massive following. You know, his following is like not the biggest in the world, but he's basically, as I would call it, from like Starship Trooper days. I don't know if you watched the Starship Trooper film, like in I think the early 90s. Rico's Roughnecks, where they would do anything for him. You know, they were so loyal, the troops, and they're like his troop, the Vayner Nation, you know? So obviously, I'm sure you're getting what I'm talking about here. So he's got his Vayner Nation, so he's got people that will do anything to him. They will consume and consume and consume and consume. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm stopping you from being a consumer. Stop consuming all this Okay, yeah, consume a bit of it, but what he's making people do is become an addict to consume his information. But this is just my belief system, okay? I'm not saying this is true or false. So there's more people that are just consuming. So it just gets you addicted to the more the consumption. But what other people teach is, okay, this is what you can do. You go through this course and you do this. It's structured, it's tailored, and you don't have to go and search for it. So it's more of a shortcut. But you can obviously do, what many people are doing like me, which is, get your mentored, get your coaching, go through your training, but use other people like Gary Vee to influence you and stuff like that, because he's done some great, and some of his posts, I think it was like a 2015 post, and this was something that I was talking about years ago, because I'm an international headhunter. So he was talking about, God, what was it now? There's no such thing as gatekeepers, and that's a big thing, a big salesy talk when you try to break into a company. It's like, oh, I need to call the CFO or CEO or IT director, but I'm ringing the phone and the receptionist keeps picking up. Now, I was teaching this to my team, just to give you a bit more backstory behind me. Yeah. I've ran large teams. I've run my own P&L, close to £1 million. I'm an international headhunter, which means I've placed people across the world in America, Brazil, all across Europe, Benelux. Pretty much. I think there's pretty much everywhere. I've loads of places I've placed across the world. So I've had teams, and I've been teaching my teams that there's no such thing as a gatekeeper, because social media has stopped that. But I was talking from a LinkedIn perspective. So I was saying to people, right, okay, use LinkedIn to get in contact with that CEO, the IT director directly. Don't pick up the phone. You don't need to pick up the phone. You find what he or she is into on LinkedIn. You find out what they've commented on. You find out what they've liked, what they've shared, and you get a common ground. Mm-hmm. I was talking about this in, like 2010, but it's just that thing, because when you're a celebrity and someone says something, it's like, oh, this is new, you know what I mean? But when you get someone that is just doing it because that's just your job, and you're teaching your team how to break into clients, etc., then it's just part of my job. And that's why I respect Gary Vee, because the teachers that he says, stuff that I was doing, 5 years before he was putting out on social media. And then in hindsight, I think to myself, wow, if I would have started doing this 10 years ago, then where would there have been? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's great that you brought Gary Vee, because I do like him. I've got a lot of respect for him, and there's a lot of great content out there.
Yeah, no, because I was just quickly looking at his social blade and his Instagram, because we're talking about it, like with regard. And I think like Gary Vee, if he was here, he would argue that he's not just like doing a course or anything like this. He's like built a brand, like going right, which has 2.78 million subscribers on the actual YouTube channel, and on like Instagram 8.3 million. And he's getting 1 million views, like 100k likes, 200, 1,500 comments and stuff like this. So you know what I mean? He'll most probably go, yes, it's about building the brand. Is like what you're focusing on. Is it a case of you're trying to get people to build a brand as well, or?
Yes, absolutely. But it could be anything, right? Okay. First of all, what I say is have fun along the way. Don't focus on the money. Okay. I know we're in a crappy situation at the moment due to COVID. So I'm talking about not just people, I'm talking about business owners. So I'm talking about people who could be, for example, my friend's physio is a physio. Had I think about 15 practices, and he's going through administration at the moment. This is real. The reason why with administration is because obviously COVID. It's closing down all his stores. So I'm speaking to him, basically saying, what you should be doing, what you could do is you could you could digitize your course, not a course, but you could digitize what you do as a physio. So rather than, I know you can't treat patients, you can't do your touches feely side, and he's lost a lot of money, he's closing down his practices. Is what about, he's so qualified, he's amazing what he does. So why don't you put that into a digital product, okay? And I will help you go through that digital product and how you can sell that. So it may be just a small price. So I'm not a physio, so I don't know the whole the aspects of what he'll be teaching, but it's basically could be like a 15, 20 minute, 30 minute course, and you could just charge £7 for it, £12 for it. He's already got a customer base. This is what I tell people about, and this is what you probably heard a million times as well, is if you don't have a list, you don't have a business. He's got a huge list of his customers. So he can just basically say to them, yes, we can't do the practicing anymore, but maybe you may be interested in this course that we're offering, so you can learn it yourself, and then maybe you can teach it to other people. Yes, we can't practice on you, but maybe you can get something from us going out of business, and maybe you can help with just one other person, and you can pass this information on. So that's one thing that I'm trying to do, just how people can just claw back a bit of cash out there. And, if you've got a list, just basically package that product up into a digital product and sell it for, £5 or £7, £20. It depends on the value of it, on the value that you place it for. And then other people, like I said, the fun element of it is, you don't have to go and take out a full course. I've got a smaller course out there, and it's for your kids. It's like, okay, what have your kids really been doing over the summer holidays? Oh, they've been on the Xbox, they've been on the phone. Okay, then, do you know what my kids have done? They've literally created a blog. They're making money from the blog, and they're not even spending too much time on it. It's not even time consuming. They'll just schedule it, for the week or for the 2 weeks, and then that's it. Then they can go and have the fun. And it's also helping children with the written word. So if they're not confident to go into YouTube. I believe YouTube is fantastic. Motion pictures, basically everything for me. But if they're more interested in the written word, it's going to help with their English as well. So it's just things like that where it can help children, people with the confidence, just writing in there, talking about passion, talking about something that they're interested in. But like I've said, it can go on to other people as well. It's like, I haven't got a clue what to do. Okay, what do you do? Oh, I fish. I love fishing. Right, okay, then why don't you just do blog and fishing? Well, why should I? Because there's a massive community out there of people who love fishing. So all you need to do is talk about the type of fish that you fish for, the lakes that you go to. You've got your phone with you. You take a picture of the lake. You take a picture of where you're up to, where the best spots are, and then you basically start blogging about and talking about that. Yeah, but it's not going to make any money. It will make you money, because what do you use to fish? Fishing rod. Do you use a tent? What kind of other equipment do you use? Okay, then I will show you how to monetize your blog by being an affiliate to Amazon. So once they see what fishing equipment you use, oh, I want that, I need to upgrade to that. They click on the link, you get paid for it. And I say to everyone, stop recommending stuff to people, because everyone is an affiliate. Everyone's an affiliate, just don't get paid for it. And what I mean by that is, you go and watch the film. Oh, you need to watch this film, it's amazing. You go to a restaurant, go and eat in this restaurant. Oh, the food is to die for. So just think about what you're doing. For me, that's why I call it mindset, freestyle mindset as well, because it's just tweaking people's minds. We're doing it, but why not get paid for it? Stop giving it, stop giving it away for free. If you do like going to a restaurant and you one of the main customers of a restaurant, you recommend loads of people, why not go and speak to the rest of this is just off the cuff, it may not happen. I don't know if to do this or not, but why not go and speak to a restaurant and just say, oh, I would like to recommend a few other people. Can we get like a 25% discount on our next meal? Stop giving away stuff for nothing. Yeah, Gary Vee's stuff is for free, but he's Gary Vee. He's a multi-millionaire. He doesn't have to work again in his life. He can shut everything down now. Shut everything down. I'm talking about the real people where we're fighting and we're striving to do better for ourselves and do better for our family. So that's one thing, you know, what makes me laugh when you get people like saying, oh, I'm doing it for free, this is free content out there. He can say that, of course he can say that. I will get to a position where I'll be saying that. But at the moment, I need to build my brand up. I need to build my company up. I've got my foundation which I won't go into, but I've got my foundation that I know I'm going to be building as part of my goals. But I need to obviously build up my financial wealth first. And that's when you give back. You don't give back first. You build yourself up first, and then you give back. You know, and what I've been teaching people, because I do coaching courses as well, I say, well, if you're ill and you say, I want to go and help people who are ill and suffering, you can't, because you're ill yourself, you're fragile, and you can spread your disease to other people. So an ill person, unfortunately, can only do it with a limitation on how they're going to help. So if you're not wealthy, how can you help people who haven't got money? So you need the wealth to create wealth, then to give back to people. So that's just my stuff. That's my, as I would call it, BS, my belief system. So my belief system is I need to create the wealth and then I'll give back. You know, how can I start giving back and start doing my foundation and start building what I know I'm going to be building when I'm going to be like, well, I need money. My point is I'm not going to be begging people or put myself into a worst financial situation. I need to build myself up, build my brand up, build my following up, and then it's going to be, you know, everyone that supported X, Y, and Z on my journey, this is what I'm giving back. And that's exactly what he's done.
Yeah, I hear you. And yes, I'm curious. Like the theme of fun has come through on what you've said a number of times. Now, my curiosity is now I haven't checked, but yeah, I am very curious. Like, yeah, we have mentioned TikTok. Have you done TikTok dances?
Never.
So,
I am on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok.
Yeah.
But what you'll see on TikTok is me wearing this top.
Yes.
Which is it's another thing to get into. It's basically the anyway. It's another thing to get into.
So like you say never, like as they say never, my friend. Never say never. It's like, so no TikTok dancing. Okay.
No. Well, my brand on TikTok, and I'm glad that you brought it up as well. So my thing on TikTok is it's done on speed 2, so it's done very fast. Right. On double speed, and I'm giving hints and tips and advice. So, you know, going back to what Gary Vee said about free stuff, yes, I'm giving away loads of free content, constantly giving away free content. I'm giving away free content on my blogs, I'm giving away free content on TikTok, giving away free content on YouTube, I'm giving away free content on Facebook, giving away free content on LinkedIn. I'm dominating social media. I'm giving away free content, but to package it up and put it in the right way, to get your shortcut and to get access to me, it's right. Okay, yeah, you got to pay. I'm being honest. But going back to TikTok is, so I'm talking about coaching. I'm talking about mentoring. I'm talking about there was one on there which I thought was quite powerful. It was you know, how to become a billionaire without owning anything. So it's done very, very fast. And the way I say it, when people say it's too fast, well, listen faster. You know. Okay. It's kind of like what Arnie said. Arnold Schwarzenegger was at a massive convention. I can't remember where or when it was, but I can't remember the exact word he said.
He goes, if you need to sleep 8 hours a day, well, sleep a little bit faster.
Exactly. So I've thought about that and then he came to my mind. I was like, well, listen faster then. So that's it. So. What was I talking about? Yeah, so I put it's in my blog as well, and it's obviously in my TikTok. It's like how to become a billionaire without owning anything. So I start talking about how we need to embrace digital. We need to embrace digital and online marketing, etc. So I said, okay, Facebook, they don't create any content, they don't create anything, but the founder's a billionaire. How is that? They don't have a physical product, but they're billionaire. Airbnb, okay, they've got no real estate, but the founder's a billionaire. Booking.com, they've got no real estate, but they're a billionaire. eBay, they don't sell any of their own products, but they're a billionaire. It goes on and on and on and on and on. So it's just like, guys, let's model what these guys are doing. Let's model it, you know? So this is what I'm talking about in the coaching, et cetera, that, you know, digital, online, whatever you want to call it, social media is king. That's why there's a data war out there, because if you get people liking, sharing, giving you the information for free, and you've got the right model of a company, you're a billionaire. You just literally need to figure it out. And that's why there's massive data war at the moment with TikTok, because they're growing exponentially. It's like, wow, where did these boys come from? How did they get to here so quick? You know, just like the film in the current war, you know, one side was growing faster than the other side. Again, it's based on true events, so I don't know if it's true or not. So that, you know, there was a lot of sabotage going on there. You know, a lot of discrediting going on there about the other company. So that's exactly what's going on. You know, we're just a couple hundred years, whatever you want to call it, in the future. It doesn't change. History is always the same. It repeats itself again and again and again. So yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm holding up a book, actually. So this is the stuff that I'm reading as well to increase my knowledge. So I don't know if you know Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah. So astrophysics.
Yeah, he's the person who killed Pluto as a planet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People who live on Pluto just call him a son of a bitch. There's like, we are.
Yeah. So for me, it's like education. It's like the Chariots of the Gods that I'm reading as well, which is another great book. Was, you know, was God an astronaut? So I'm learning so much more, not just about social media, because it's a lot more deeper than that, and it's a lot more deeper than my knowledge is. That's just like the tip of the iceberg. But you know, numbers come into it, the wording comes into it. For example, when you use the word emotion, emotion is E for energy, so it's energy and emotion. So I'm talking to people on how you can use words to basically inspire people, because I do it on a positive way. And yeah, you can use words to inspire people, numbers to inspire people, etc., etc. So you know, people that want to get in contact with me and work with me, it's about, you know, what do you want? You know, do you want again, another great book which I've got here, do you want the 4-hour work week? You know, do you want the thinker? I've got books all around me. You know, what do you actually want? You know, and it's some people say it's tough, some people say it's hard. It's what you make of it. It depends on you, that person. It depends on your motivation.
Yeah, would you say you've been a person who's always had this drive? Because look, you've like 2008, like you were working in recruitment, which is a long day anyway. Then basically working in Tesco's after that, doing like working in the warehouse, which isn't easy work as well. And like, you know what I mean? Like, so you've got that aspect of graft, but like, would you say that's always been within you, or it's a case of it's something you've like had that moment and you've nurtured it over time to this current moment?
It's like you know me, and it's like you're setting me up for these conversations, which is great. Right, I'm gonna take you back to 1992, 93.
Okay.
Arn Terry just started high school. Arn Terry, family of family of 6. So my mum and dad divorced when I was at a young age. I think I was like 6 or 7 when they divorced. So my mum's typical African mum, where works for the NHS, works constant hours. So that's all I've seen. That's all I've seen. You know, my mum working Christmas Day, or next year my mum's not working Christmas, but she's working Boxing Day. So we get to spend Christmas with our mum. So that's what I was saying. So bringing it back to 1992, 93, obviously my mum's single parent, raising 5 children, so hasn't got any money for herself. I haven't got any money. I've seen kids with, better clothes than me, better trainers than me, but that's not my thing because I've always been very level-headed, where I've never been into material stuff until I got a bit older and bought my car, whatever. But I've never really been into.
Before.
Yeah. But I've never really been into materials. As a kid, it was more about seeing my mum struggling and not wanting to be a burden on my mum. Sounds crazy being a kid thinking like that, but that's how I thought anyway. So it was kind of I want pocket money, but I know I can't ask my mum for pocket money. So what do I do? I sold sandwiches. So back in the 92, 93, 94, maybe even 95 as well, I was the top sandwich seller of my school. So my mum would buy the Warburton. We had a cool agreement. My mum would buy the Warburton's bread, the butter, the cheese. I would make my sandwiches. I would go without dinner, by the way, obviously, because I'm selling my lunch. So I would sell it for like 20p to 40p per sandwich. And this is a great business lesson, and this is why it's weird when I'm doing this now. It's all coming back to the surface. So it's a great business lesson. So I had copycats. I had people try to copy my business model, but they were undercutting me. So I'm like 13 at the time, undercutting me. So I lost all my customers to my guy Warren, actually. So Warren undercut me.
Great friend, or he's an enemy which you're hunting down for the rest of your days.
Yeah. Well, we've not been in contact for years, actually. Maybe we'll get back in contact after this. But yeah, we were great friends at the time.
What did
Sorry,
I said, what did you do to him? You made him disappear. I haven't seen him for years.
No, it's just having the better product, and this is what I teach as well. So it's a lesson learned from being so young. So I don't know if you remember the old the supermarket called Netto. It was like a budget brand supermarket. So he would purchase his sandwiches, his bread, his produce products from Netto, and he would charge a much cheaper price. So people were eating it, having sandwiches, and I started losing all my customers. And then like a week or two went by, and I was like, Arn, have you got your sandwiches? I said, well, why? Oh, he shops at Netto. His sandwiches aren't nice. The quality is not good. And then it was a great thing for me. And this goes in business, and it's a great business lesson, is if your product's good and you market it to the right people, you will lose customers. You will lose customers to people who want to undercut you and do undercut you, but their product, their branding or whatever it is not as good. But what happens when people realize that, they come back to you and there's appreciation, there's gratitude, and there's more of a following. So what did I do? My prices went up a slightly bit more because I had more customers. So from back in the day, from when I was making it was like I was averaging, let's say, £5 a week back in like 93 as a 13-year-old kid. It was going up. Sometimes I was making like £10 a week. So then I was pushing up. I had to make more. I was like, Mum, I need more Warburton's bread. And then my mum the school called my mum and said, do you know your son's selling sandwiches at school? My mum was like, yes. I was like, okay, Mrs. Terry, goodbye.
What was your best-selling sandwich?
It was one product. It was grated cheese. That was it.
Model, like Ford Model T.
Exactly. Yeah, Ford Model T. Ford Model T. And there was no planned obsolescence in my sandwiches. I wasn't forcing it to go out of fashion or out of. So that's another thing that I'm into as well, and I've learned about as well. Obsolescence is a great thing. And again, talk about electrification as well. I know we're digressing here, but yeah, so if you probably know as well, when the light bulb was invented, there's a massive, I think it was at the Geneva Convention actually, and the light bulbs were burning too long. So they had to dumb down the product because us, the consumer, was getting too much value for money.
Yeah, like I can't remember the name of the cartel, but it was between General Electric, Philips,
Mhm.
Mark, like Marconi and maybe another company.
Yeah.
Marconi might be a little bit blurry, but the only reason
Yeah.
why this sort of cartel ended was, I think it was down to, I want to say, the Second World War. That's the reason
Mm.
why it sort of broke down. Apart from that, it
Yeah.
was running strong, and there was a standard. And then if anyone broke it, they had to pay fines and such.
Fines. Yes, we are in sync. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I'm on your podcast. I'm so glad. It feels like we could speak for days.
Wary, you might be here for another couple of hours. That's what I'm going to say. Be wary. Yeah, like, curious thing. When I say this to you, what will come to mind? 3,500.
3,500 push-ups. I targeted myself to do in 7 days.
Why?
Focus, mindset, control. And the reason why I'm doing stuff like this is not because of, yes, I try my best to keep relatively fit. I'm on my bike. I've run a lot. Not been to the gym for it feels like forever, because obviously COVID, but starting to open up, but I'll get back to that. But it was more for focus because, you know, being honest, you know, when you try to build brand and when you try to build something as well, you need focus, you need mindset. It can be very lonely, and you're getting your ass kicked all the time. And I'm not talking about people. I'm just talking about challenges, technical this or technical that, and you try to sort something out, and you try to chase someone, and just things like that. Things in life get in your way. So I thought to myself, right, what can I do to keep the focus? And then how can I kind of make sure I do 3,500 press ups in a week? So I thought, just like anything, I've got some big goals and plans. So I thought, okay, how can I scale it back? Right, scale it back just like what you're doing with your business model. Just think of it as a business model. Okay, so I thought, okay, 3,500 press ups, right? You're not doing 3,500 press ups straight away, are you? So I said, what are you going to do in a day? Let's do it in seven days. So it's going to be 500 press ups. But I was like, well, you're not going to do 500 press ups straight away. How many reps do you think you can do? So I thought I could probably do 50 repetitions. Okay, then, so that's 10 sets. Okay, so you're just doing 10 press ups. You're just doing 10. And I said to my children, I've got 3 children. My daughter's 12, my son's 9, my youngest daughter's 2.5. She was a bit too young. But I said to my other kids as well, it's good to have like a good team around you. My team is my kids. And I said, right, okay, don't let me fail on this. You need to say, Dad, how many you've done? It's just in terms of like numbers. So there was like, Dad, how many you've done? Oh, right, okay. So I was like doing push-ups. So the first day, I actually failed, which was a good fail, to be fair. I had, when the kids were doing stuff. So I did 8. So I did 400 push-ups in a day. So the next day I compensated it. I did 600. So long story short, I posted this again across my social media as well. I actually didn't do the 3,500. I misquoted myself, but I think I rectified it now. I did 3,250 press ups in 7 days. So
No, carry on.
yeah, so it was just a thing of that laser like focus. So wake up in the morning, and the thing is, when something's important to you and you put the focus in it, you'll do it. If making money is that important to you, you'll do it. If spending more time with your family is that important to you, you'll do it. You'll just cut the excuses. Like, I used to make loads of excuses. Can't spend as much time with family. I could have done it years ago. I could have set up my own company years ago and been, done my own thing, but I didn't, because at that time, what was more important to me was climbing the corporate ladder, having my suit on and, being the, what was my title? I was senior management team. But going back to the push-ups, it was I had that laser-like focus basically to hit it. And I truly believe there's no way I would have done 3.5 or 3,250 press-ups if I didn't scale it back by saying, right, okay, don't think about the big number, think about small number. So that's what I do in my coaching calls as well. When people want to get to a place, it's like scale it back. How much money do you want to earn? Okay, I want to earn this amount of money. But anyway, you've done something similar with your press-ups challenge constantly?
Well, yeah, basically with my push-up challenge, like, yes, I'm doing 61 push-ups a day for the next 366 days to raise awareness for soldiers with PTSD. Today is currently 225 and going well so far. So yeah. Yep. So it's like every morning, get up, push-ups, keep going. Every morning, get up, keep going. And by the end of it, I should be around about 2,200, 20,200.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's a big number. And the thing is as well, if you just would have said, I'm going to do 20,000 push-ups or whatever the number was, no, that's impossible. But what you've done is superb. Similar for me, what I've done to you, what you've been doing as well. You scaled it down and you do that number, and then it just basically compounds within time. Now I do push-ups every day anyway. Oh, not every day, but every other day. But I've never ever in my life done that amount of push-ups. Was it difficult? And I won't even say it was difficult. It was just the repetition. It was just having that in my mind's eye to remember. And for what you're doing as well, it's phenomenal, because not only are you doing it for yourself, your mindset, your focus, you're raising awareness, and it's a massive thing, and that's what I'm leading myself to be able to do for my passion and for my thing that I'm going to be doing soon.
No, like, this is what I would say for anyone who's listening. Like, it's always comes down to compound effort. Like, basically, look, yeah, you can start something one day and you do it again the other day, but like, as time goes on, if you're like putting up one post on Instagram a day, and if you do it 5 times, 4 times a day, and increase, the best sort of story for this is the guy who invented the game of chess. He, like, basically, the emperor was so happy with the game of chess. He like went, yes, I'll give you a reward, anything you want. I am the emperor of China and it's within my power. What would you like? Guy goes, okay. He goes, yeah, a grain of rice, but every time you go along every square, it starts off with 1, then it doubles again, and go along and along and along. And like, the emperor was like, fine, consider it done.
Yes.
Yeah, like, by the time it got halfway through, like, the emperor was seeing the nightmare of what he agreed to.
Yeah.
Like,
whoa, yeah.
Yes. So compound effort. And I think this is the thing with some people, like, where they put their efforts in life, be that social media or basically like an exercise goal. I think they don't actually focus on the here and now, but they don't understand the rewards of their compound, like, from their efforts, their compound efforts, what might come. And look, don't get me wrong, like, if someone's out there trying to be like a big social media star, that effort, depending what it might be, might not come to fruition. But if it's a case of exercise, or if it's a case of being able to run a certain distance, if you keep on doing it, and if you're consistent with it, as you said before, results will come. Same thing with saving, results will come.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just me. I could be wrong, but you know what? Someone can disagree, but hey.
No, you're not wrong. It's true, and compounding it, it's a as you know, it's something that is, thousands, probably more than thousands of years old. People just think about Warren Buffett in terms of the finance world, but the information that he's talking about, like you said, the Emperor of China, all this information is all old history. For example, The Richest Man in Babylon that I've read, etc., etc. It's all information that's like tens of thousands of years old that has been lost, and that information, or it's been remodeled, or people haven't read the history books and the old books and thought, oh my God, what Gary Vee's talking about. A lot of that stuff is like old. A lot of content out there is just remodeled. The great book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Who was before? Oh, I've just lost my trail of thought now. Yeah, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and then they went to was it Earl Nightingale after Napoleon Hill, and then I think it then became Bob Proctor, who then learned from their teachings in terms of manifestation, inspirational stuff. But it's just information that, and then you go back into the history, Marcus Aurelius. So it's just really interesting the way that people model the old ways, the old teachings, but they put a kind of new millennium spin on it, or a new decade spin on it, or a new century spin on it, because people's thoughts and minds change, but when you dig down to the surface, it virtually does stay the same. So that again, that's my thought on it, and that's what I talked about. Like I said, I do give away loads of free information. That's what I talked about on my YouTube channel as well, on how I got 1,000 subscribers quite quickly on YouTube. I just use a compound effect. So what I basically did was I went onto LinkedIn. I've got over 10,000 followers on LinkedIn, so maybe it's slightly easy for me to do. So I went to LinkedIn. I tagged quite a few people on LinkedIn. I tagged people on Facebook as well. And I just said, listen, I've just created a YouTube channel here. Can you please do me a favor? Can you watch this video? And can you tag in 5 other people that you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you like the content, please like it or subscribe and subscribe. So the caveat was, please watch it, but don't subscribe if it's not relevant to you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a really important thing about that. The message that I always get across to people is, don't confuse vanity for sanity. So what I mean by that is you can have loads of people following you on YouTube, but you'll have no engagement. And then what happens is, as you mentioned at the very start of the conversation, is the algorithm will be looking at your YouTube channel and be like, this person's got 2,000, 3,000 followers, but they're getting no engagement, they're not getting any watch time. Something's going on here. So the algorithm will not push any of your content, any of your videos out to the masses. So the best thing is to get people to watch your videos first. So you may only have like 5 subscribers, but you may have 20 people that's watched the video. That is so much better than having 100 subscribers and only a couple of handful of people that's watched your video. And that's what I teach. Do it the right way. Start off and then compound in that way. And and when you ask people to watch your YouTube video, like I said, the way I did it, when you tagging your friends into Facebook and you're asking them to tag in another 5 friends and asking them to tag in again, and it just kind of snowballs that way. So that's how I helped get my watch time up, and that's how I helped get my subscribers up as well. But I've never asked anyone to follow it, doing it that way, because it gets lost in translation. So that's why I was saying, don't subscribe to my channel if this content isn't relevant to you, because all they're going to do is subscribe and not engage, or subscribe then unsubscribe. And I'm sure that's probably, I don't know if it is or does or not, but I'm pretty sure that may obviously affect your ratings when you're getting people unsubscribing constantly to your YouTube channel. So that's another point that I stress a lot.
No, like this is the thing. Yeah, if you do have a bunch of subscribers, like a whole ton of subscribers, and no one's engaging, yeah, like YouTube doesn't look upon it favorably. I could say the algorithm, but yeah, no, doesn't really work out at all. Yeah, so it's a very sort of difficult thing indeed. So, like with regards to keeping sort of that engagement going, how have you been doing that with YouTube?
Um, Honestly, it's been slightly difficult because not the posting stuff, but the time management stuff. Because my work, obviously my wife works, so the kids have been at home due to COVID, so they've not been at school. So we've been watching them and get stuff done. So I've been doing stuff like in the evening time, and the art of scheduling is just perfect. Just because you again, you're putting a blog out there or you're putting something out there on YouTube, you don't have to go live straight away. So you could have an hour spare or 30 minutes spare your time. Just like, okay, I'm just going to create this video now and I'll schedule it to go out in a week or then a week after. So that's what I've been doing. But in terms of the content, the reason why I'm not finding it difficult is education and learning. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about school education or anything like that. I'm just talking about knowledge, wisdom, learning from Earl Nightingale, Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, Abraham Hicks, to Paulo Coelho, to Ralph Smart, Infinite Waters, to all these different people, and just learn and educate. And so it's everything. It's kind of the mind, body, and soul, and what I'm doing as well. So I'm putting myself through challenges as well, and putting that into a business model. For example, I did a 3-day water fast as well, which was very interesting. So yeah, so literally, when did I do that now? 2 weeks ago, I think it was. 2 weeks ago, yeah. So on the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I just had water, and so it was officially more than 3 days, but let's just call it a 3-day water fast. So it's just things that I'm doing, which is helping my journey and helping people, because my belief is to become successful in anything that you're doing, it's your mindset. You need to work on your mind, not just, oh, I'm going to do this, going to do that, or why are you going to do this? Oh, because. No, but why are you going to? Oh, because. But why? So that brings me on to my why, or people to the why. You need to have a strong enough why of why you're actually doing it. Why you're getting out of bed. Why do you want to earn that kind of money, or why don't you want to earn that kind of money? To find out who you want to become or how you want to better yourself. So for myself, no, I've got content. Literally, it's pretty much like when you're speaking to someone who's like an artist, a singer, songwriter, or whatever you want to call it, and they're like, yeah, I've got so many songs, I could do 3-4 albums. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that thing where I've got so much content I can release. I can do a lot of it, and a lot of it stuff is literally in my blog as well, which I then need to kind of make it YouTube friendly in where I need to speak about it as well. So I need to get onto my YouTube channel as well, same LinkedIn. So it's just life, and I think for me, this is my point of view, I think it gets easier when you get older, and I think that's why people call it wisdom, because once you've had more life stories, you've got more to talk about,
Okay.
So that I've got a lot more to talk about. For example, I don't think I've even talked about the selling sandwich on I might have actually. I think I might have on the YouTube channel. I think I might have. But it's just like things like that where I can relate to stuff I did at a younger age and how I can put into a business and talk about lessons learned and how I can talk about social media, what's going on at the moment. But a lot of my stuff is more to do with mindset and coaching and mentoring. But yeah, again, and then how you can make money, because I don't want it to be, typical, oh, you're going to be a millionaire. Yeah, you can, I'll earn, over 6 figures within the year of me doing this. But it's not just about that. you need to understand why you want to do it first, and then you basically do it. So, for example, when I've been speaking to people, I'm like, right, okay, well, what's your salary and what your outgoings? It's a bit personal, but we need to know this if they want to earn a certain amount of money. So, say your salary is £3,000 per month, and your debts are £4,000 a month. Then, like, right, okay, you need to, or we need to figure out how you're going to make £4,000 a month every single month for at least the next six months, and then you can decide if you want to quit your job and do this full time. So that's by way of affiliate marketing, selling other people's products. If you want to do that, that's how I started, selling other people's products, and then it got to the point of, well, now I believe I can create my own products, my own digital products, and that's what I do, and that's my journey so far.
So, sounds like how can I say it? Sounds like it's going to be an epic journey over the next few months. So, with regards to like talking about setting goals and targets with regards to finances for people who want to partake in your course. Finance is not, well, I know you want to make money from what you do, but like, what would you say your personal goals are apart from the financial?
It's not the financial, and that's not a personal goal. So the goals that I'm keeping it quite close to my chest. But my open goals that I'm talking about is, I'll just keep it kind of overview. Is to create a foundation. So that's obviously to help others. Personal goal is I want to get into rock climbing. So this is for me, for having fun. I want to get into rock climbing. I've always enjoyed looking at people, so I'm going to start, doing indoor rock climbing. I've always loved rowing, but I've always just been stuck in the gym on the concept too. I've always liked the aspects of looking, I'm not too far from Salford Quays in Manchester, and I've got a big rowing club there. I just love to do stuff like that, just row more. We don't. This is the thing is, this is my thought. We don't want money. We want money to give us access to what we want to do. The unfortunate thing is, money, you need the money to do the things that you want to do and love doing. So what my goals are, for one, is to build a foundation. Two, I want to get into a rowing club and enjoy rowing at a constant time. I want to do rock climbing. It's more about educating others. I'm not going to do the cliche about I want to do X amount of people and help amount of people, but that's what it is. I want to help as many people as possible. I'm not going to put a limit on it or a number on it right now, but it's to help as many people out there as possible. But just starting with one person, and that's how I started. I just want to help one person. I just want to help one person. It's kind of like Columbo when he goes, just one more thing. I don't know if you watched Columbo.
First person he talks to is quite often the murderer, and he knows that. That's Columbo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just one more question. So I use that, and I just want to help one more person. Just want to help one more person. Just want to help one more person. So it's just like, and that's how I scale it all down constantly. I scale everything down rather than being overwhelmed. So I just want to help one person. Just want to help one person. Help that one person. Want to help one more person, and just keep going from there. So that's my goal, is just to help as many people as possible, and have fun. It's about my children and making sure that they get to where they want to get to and enjoy the life themselves, and just giving them opportunities that I didn't have. So if they did want to go and travel, and in fact that's one of the things that I want to do. I don't know if it'll be allowed or not, but I was like just saying to my wife, and she was like, oh, I don't know about that. I said, do you know what, I'll just love just to when it gets back to travel without the weirdness and complication, is just say, right, kids, family, we are traveling we are going to bring a tutor with us. So kids, you're still going to do your learning. And we're going to just travel. We're going to pick a few spots on the map, and we're going to go from country to country. And we're just going to enjoy ourselves rather than, sitting in a classroom and go, oh, this place is there and this is what they speak and this is the population. No, let's go, let's do it. And that's one of my goals, to have that opportunity. Like my daughter's in the second year of high school now, so she's 12. So have that before she finishes high school, because when they get older, they'll be doing their own thing, and I don't think mum and dad will be as cool. That's
no, you see, it's your child. You're never cool to them. Never, ever, ever. You could have superpowers and a cape and an S on your chest. No, never, ever, ever. No,
so
these people, I don't care. No, never, ever, ever. So within the next 4 years, you will be traveling around the country or countries, with your family in tow. Going, look at the world we live in.
Look at the world. This is what it's about. This is what social media, in terms of, not social media, the media as in the news. And this is what they don't show us, that there's so much peace there, there's love there, there's so much heart, there's so much soul. One place, even though I'm a bit curious, or not curious, maybe standoff about America at the moment, but one place I'd love to visit, New Orleans. I'd love to visit places like that. I just want to visit places which seems like it's got a lot of soul, or the character, not to live there, but just take people and my kids to different places in the world. Yeah. And then when they get their friends that they speak and say, oh, did you know this place? That kind of people in that location, and then the kids will be like, well, no, I visited there. It's nothing like that. Don't believe what you listen on the news. They make it this way. So I want them to be travel educated, and a kind of travel smart as well. So that's my goals. My goals are based mainly around helping others, family, knowledge, rather than the wealth. Wealth, prosperity, and stuff like that. It'll all come along the way. It always does. If you're doing it right and you're not being a fraud, it'll come. And that's why I'm not going to go into detail. I've spent a lot of money on my own personal development, and culture, and I didn't want to come across as a fraud. Be like, I've just picked up a couple of books and I've looked at a bit of Gary V videos, so that's why I thought, and respect. I'm not giving any disrespect to people who have just self-taught and taught others, because that's still fine. But for me personally, I wanted to go down the route of scheduled routine, because there's two things as well. And the reason why I did it as well is, if my belief is, if you want to coach someone, then it's more structured. If you want to mentor someone, it's more the Gary V side, where it's like, no, you pick a date, you pick a time, and we'll just speak to each other whenever. Whereas now I can do both. So I think that's what it's given me. I can literally do a proper coaching call with someone, have it properly scheduled, have it properly done, and walk someone through the success. Have I got the answers to everything? No one does. Am I perfect? No one's perfect. What I am is, I'm passionate, I'm honest, and I will give 100% to people who are going through the same journey as me. So that's literally me in a nutshell.
Something which might be slightly out of the nutshell, with regards to the t-shirt you're wearing, because the symbol on it is on your t-shirt and it's the watermark on your videos. What's that about?
Right, okay. So I'm kind of into geometry, sacred geometry. I'm not going to claim to be a big master knowledge person of it, but yeah. So I'm into the Sri Yantra, and also the geometry, as you see in the videos as well. The by Archangel Mestrom.
Right.
So this one is the Sri Yantra on my top. So it's all about symbols. So the triangle facing up is the male energy. The
Right.
triangle facing down is a female energy. And then you've got the lotus petals, the lotus leaves around there. That's about creation as well. So I won't do a big thing into it, but yeah, it's literally about, so the Shrantra is probably, as you know, it's the ancient geometry, which is tens of thousands of years old. It's probably one of the most oldest symbols out there. So I do meditation as well.
Yeah.
So I'm and the symbol. So when people say concentrate, a lot of people don't really know how to concentrate. And again, this is my belief. So how I increase my concentration superpowers is I look at one spot, one symbol. It doesn't have to be long, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I use that on this Shrantra. So I meditate on that and I focus on that. That's why I've got the laser, as I believe, the laser focus. So yeah, so that's what I do, and it's kind of like one of those things where I was never into the Shrantra. I was never into looking at the angel numbers. I was never into looking at the Archangel Metatron's symbols, but it just kind of grew on me. I don't know how, but it's just what happened. In fact, I know point of how my sister will claim fame to this. She gave me the book, The Secret, maybe like 10 years ago or something. I can't remember. So I read that, and I was like, "What's all this nonsense and rubbish about?" And then I put it away, and I kind of read another book, and another book, and I kind of like went into it, and then I saw the symbol Sri Yantra, and it just resonated with me. And the Sri Yantra, again, it's about health, wealth, and balance, and that's what I'm about, and that's what I like,
Excellent. I have to ask, like, being born and raised in Manchester, is that?
No, actually, I was actually born in Tooting Broadway, London.
What was this? Tooting. So, like,
Yeah.
okay, because let's just say, like, my lady was born in Tooting, and then she made her way up north via Cambridge, and that's where she was like raised. Yeah.
Wow. There's alignment here. Definite alignment. So I moved to Manchester. Obviously, I've lost my London accent. I moved to Manchester when I was like 5. I'm 39 now. So I spent my life in Manchester. So my mum and dad literally came from Sierra Leone. And then my dad was in Leeds. Spent his time in Leeds, then went back to Sierra Leone to marry my mum. Then they both came back to Leeds, spent a very short time in Leeds, and then they moved to London. And London, that's where obviously me and my 3 other, because I've got an older brother, older sister, and a younger sister that were born. And when I moved to Manchester, that's when my younger sister was born. And then, but yeah, so Manchester is at the moment what I call my family home, but I am not. I wouldn't say that's where I believe I'm going to be for the rest of my life. I just literally want to see the world and travel more, because I'm getting to that situation. I'm getting to that position where I believe I can do it, but I just need to get certain stuff in order first, and just make sure I'm going to be giving back to as many people as possible. And that's one thing that I teach about my kids as well, because I teach them about when they get the pocket money, they get the money, spend 50% of it, just blow it on whatever you want. 30% or whatever it is, I can't remember what I think it's 30%, just save, put it away. 10% put on something else, and 10% give away. So we did go to church. I said, church or to charity, or just save it up and just keep saving up, and then you may decide you're going to give it to someone. So I believe in giving back, but only once you've got that money. There's no point, if you're on your last £5 and you're giving away £3.50 to charity, you know, that's not going to help. That's not going to help you. So you need to have that money in first. Pay yourself first, just like what Robert T. Kiyosaki says in Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know, pay yourself first. That's what I believe you should be doing. First of all, pay yourself first, and then you help others. You can't help others if you are literally, you know, struggling yourself. Which unfortunately is something that my mum keeps doing. She's still not figured it out. She just keeps helping people. She's got too much of a kind heart.
Yes, I understand that. I understand that. So, with that, now, if I have, like, if delving into my cosmic powers, now, if there was something I could, like, I wish I could grant for you over in the next 5 years, what would it be?
Something to grant me for over the next 5 years, what would it be? Wow. You've got me. I normally like to talk, but now I've shut up. I can't even think. Something to grant me over the next 5. I truly believe, honestly, I have everything. Because for me, it's not about the money. It's about helping more people. So if it was more on the, let's call it on the physical. On the physical level. So yeah, something that you could grant me now, it would probably be to help to reach more people. So you've already granted it, and you're doing it with the podcast. So you're actually doing it. We're energy in motion, you know. So we're doing it. You've done it. So it'll be to get to more people. You know, to help just one more person. So I guess you've already granted that wish. So you know. You don't even need to be the genie in the bottle to do it. You are literally the genie in its truest form.
No, I'm no genie. I just have cosmic powers. No. No. Like, yeah, there's no supreme cosmic power living in space. No, not for me. But yeah. Brilliant. One last question. Like, what have you been doing? Is there been stuff you've been reading or watching over this lockdown period to sort of keep you sane?
A lot. In fact, I'll get to that question in a minute, but I'm going to talk about food first. So my daughter, I've got a routine for my kids. I sound like a right taskmaster. So for my children, when they wake up, they read, especially on summer holidays. They read, they do the guitar lessons, self-teach themselves on YouTube. So nothing big, and they've got to do the exercise as well, the press up, sit up, squats. And you know, eat clean, but obviously enjoy themselves with different foods. So I was speaking to my daughter, and I was talking to her about why it's important to have a bit of junk food now and again. So I said, right, okay, the reason why people call it a cheat day, is my belief from what I've been reading, is you eat really good. I said to my daughter, what do you think happens if you just keep putting good stuff in your body constantly? Said, oh, I don't know, just you'll feel better. I said, you'll feel better, but your internal organs just get lazy. Because like, oh yeah, salad again, apples again, fruit again, vegetables again. So I said, sometimes you need to give your body a bit of a kick up the backside, throw a bit of junk in there, and your body's like, what's going on? What's this nonsense? I need to get out of my system.
Well,
so
like all you're doing right now to like saying that is justifying why I should get myself a tub of Haagen-Dazs cookies and cream later today. That's all you're going. Yeah, as I go, he's right. I agree. I can buy into this. It's like, yeah. That's like, No, that's like, yeah. Oh, preach, man, preach. Yeah,
put it in the microwave and just drink it.
Like, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I will most probably be dead. That's like, yeah. That's like, it's Arn's fault. Like, stop looking at me. Lady walks in, just like, yeah, Haagen-Dazs broke my face. It's like, I regret nothing. I'll do it again. Get the other tub. My body needs this. That's all you're doing right now. You're justifying the whole heap of like, yeah, my body's in, and like, yeah, just like, then I'll come look at you and go, look what you've done.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, just like, Who's the captain now? Haagen-Dazs is the captain. That's what you're doing right now. Like, you're laughing yourself. Like, you're like, oh, God, the comedy. God damn.
so listen what I say to my kids, because I am very firm, but I am very fair as well. So I say to them, yeah, you need to, eat healthy, which to do, a lot of fruit, veg, constantly, blah, blah, blah. But I say, pizza, crisp, chocolate, and say to me, yeah, and that's what I do anyway. So coming to your question, because I got digressed a bit in terms of what I've been watching, I've literally been educating myself on books, journals, that I've been just building up my brain power, brain capacity, whatever you want to call it. On Gaia.com. Don't know if you know Gaia. So it's all about spirit. Yeah. So it's about spiritual, anything from spirituality to meditation to aliens. It's basically a Netflix on a different level. It's for obviously more education, spiritual stuff. To other documentaries on history, stuff like that. But then I binge watch, like I said, Netflix with the kids. I'm a big Marvel fan, so we're actually planning to do a kind of Marvel fest back in the beginning, back in Captain America, the First Avenger, and then Winter Soldier, and go through right up to Infinity Wars and the Endgame. So we want to do that over the next couple of days. So that's literally what I do. So I educate myself, but I feel sometimes you just need to throw a bit of rubbish in there now and again, to get the balance right. So some people could call it 80-20 rule, but I just basically try and, like, with my health, try and eat as best I can. 20%, just throw a bit of rubbish in there to give myself a bit of shake up. With the education as well, 80% will be helping myself, because the way I see it is, if I'm going to try and help others, I need to keep growing as a person. I need to keep exercising my brain. I didn't understand that up until probably about maybe 2-3 years ago. Probably about 5 years ago, I said to myself, I don't enjoy reading books, but it's really weird. I love reading books. It's just I didn't find the right topic, if that makes sense. The right kind of books that really excited me and energized me and made me be like, right, okay, I've read this one now. What else can I read? But I've gone into Amazon Audible a lot more now. Even though I prefer reading a physical book, the reason why I've got to do Audible is because, like I said, balancing life and the kids. Still my recruitment business, still this, so I don't get as much time just to chill out and just sit down and read a book. So that's literally me. I love movies. I love motion picture. So, but I mix it up right. So I don't put too much garbage in. When I do put the garbage in, I put knowledge in there with it as well.
What's your favorite movie?
Old school, and there's quite a difficult one. It's all back in the old days. So, oh God, the Thief of Baghdad. This is 1940 something.
When you said the old days, wow.
I think it's 1940, 1950. It's like one of the best films. It's about and funny enough, it's about a genie. It's about you need to watch it. It's an amazing film. So I love my Sinbad the Sailors. I love my Jason the Argonauts. I love my Spartacus, all the original stuff. That's me. I can, I remember being a kid. I used to look forward to Easter, not because of the Easter eggs. That was great. But I used to look forward to Easter because of all the mythological, I can't say the word, the myth films and stories. So Sinbad the Sailor would come on. Jason the Argonauts would come on. Moses would be on. These are my films that I loved Easter because of those films.
Excellent. Like, sort of jumping to this, like you're listening to audiobooks. I don't know if you know a chap called David Goggins.
No, David Goggins.
Former Navy SEAL, considered one of the toughest men alive. because
Yeah.
marathons had the record for most pull-ups, and like basically, yeah, this guy savage mentality is not like he did the qualification to get into the Navy SEALs, like Hell Week 3 times, failed twice, did it on the third time.
Yeah.
His first 100-mile race, like he needed to qualify for this thing called Badwater, and like
Yeah.
they wouldn't let him in until he did a 100-mile race. Let's just say he went through an ordeal to do that. But a book he wrote is Can't Hurt Me. Definitely recommend that. And you might know Shoe Dogs, Phil Knight.
No, don't know that. Don't know that.
Phil Knight, he is the founder of Nike. So
Yeah.
basically, yeah, about how the journey of how that came to be.
Yeah.
2 very good books. I would definitely recommend.
I've got credits on Audible because I've literally been rereading the other ones because I've not had a chance to purchase other ones yet. So there we go. Them are 2 new books.
So do that. Yeah, outstanding.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell the people how they can find you out there in this big wide world of ours?
Oh, big wide world, how can you find me? Right, okay. Simple, if you want to get me on Instagram, just go to Freetown Mindset on Instagram. Or if you want to get me on LinkedIn, just Arn Terry, which is simple. Same with YouTube, Arn Terry, or put in Freetown Mindset. One of the 2, very simple. Best probably obviously would be Instagram. Then we can obviously have a conversation on there and see if I can help you in any way possible. And if so, we can take it from there. So simply put, probably best to find me on Instagram to send me a message on there. But if you want to see any of my content, you're probably best going to my YouTube channel, which is Arn Terry, and that's it. Simple. But I've got other things on there. I'm literally on LinkedIn, Twitter, blah blah blah. But yeah, the main platform that I'm hanging out on is YouTube and Instagram.
Excellent. I'll put all this information in the descriptions down below, show notes. So yes, you can find him. Yes, take advantage of some of his knowledge and wisdom. And yeah, maybe sign up for his course. But nevertheless, yeah, I want to say, Arn, thank you for coming on today. It has been much appreciated. You have been great. And yeah, I've got to say thank you to anyone who is still out there. My friends, my life warriors, you have been brilliant, great, superb, wonderful. But let me say, be safe, be excellent, be fantastic, be all the positive bees you can be and more. And yeah, see you later. Peace. And we are